We gotta
Let's
talk.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. We gotta
You know
talk
what
about
I'm
it. Are we gonna change the title of the show or what? What was
I
the
think you're right. I think we should call it more like Make Your Movie. Or
make your movie?
Making the movie.
Making the movie. Oh, that'd be good too. The making of a movie.
You know what we gotta do? We gotta do some research. You gotta do the research.
Let's get into it right now.
All right.
Okay, so I don't want to waste any time today because last
You
week,
wasted a lot of fucking time
last week I thought we had a really great show. By the
did.
way, I'm happy to see you, Dave. Happy to see you. Come all the way down the freeway on a Friday afternoon. That's
That's
hard.
right.
That's hard.
It was easy today, though.
Oh, really?
There's no traffic coming this way.
Oh, nice.
Going home's gonna
Ooh,
suck.
congratulations.
How's it gonna
Hey,
be for you?
congratulations. It's going to be fine for me. I'm like 5 minutes away.
Hey, Friday night, sunset. I don't know.
No, I don't go down Sunset. I go up Coldwater on the valley
Oh,
side.
you go the white people way.
But let me tell you something. So last week we had a pretty good show. We talked about lawyering up, right? We talked about getting your investors to, put up the money and to figure out if your investors for real fast.
Question based off of that. So I think I'm going to close this deal for distribution with, I don't know if we talked about it, with the company called 1091.
Okay.
They do AVOD, advertisement video on demand. I guess it's pretty big. It's non-subscription. It's free, but it's like Tubi. It's Peacock. It's what's the other one? IMDb TV. It's there's another one.
I'm for anything new. If that's
And they
the
only
question.
want like the percentage isn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's actually not it's a pretty good deal. Now, they sent me the contracts. They sent me the short form, like the bullet points wasn't bad. Liked it. Then they sent me the long form. Now, do I just sign the motherfucker? Or do I go to an attorney and say, look at this, tell me what you think?
All right. Well, here's
tell me
here's my answer to that. Like, you received a contract. Now it's a long form for your property, something that you own with other people that other people paid for. So your due diligence should be, hey, would you mind taking a look at this for me? Because it's a lot of legalese, right? A lot of conversation.
What
that
am I
could
going to
be
pay for
taking,
that? How much is that going to cost?
You could pay an hour for someone like
Walt.
Someone like Walt will cost you $500 for an hour, but he'll read it.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
in my younger years, I would read
Fucking
a contract
genius over here.
and I'd misunderstand a word, and I'd think they're screwing me. Like, immediately, I'd be like, this. They're just trying to screw me in this sentence right here, right? So I think a lot of times, if you're smart, you should let a lawyer pay a lawyer for an hour.
Yeah.
Please read this. Tell me if there's anything I should worry about. They'll come back with, like, check out page 2, paragraph 3, check out page 5, paragraph 1, check out page 16. But other than that, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I mean by that. Like, you and I might read a contract and misread what its intention is.
Yeah.
But it's legally just information that the company needs to protect themselves and to protect you. And sometimes
I've
it
seen
doesn't
you
read
look
right.
at contracts. You actually go to specific things and read specific things, and you go, "That's fine. Yeah, it's good. Sign it."
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll give you an example. You make a movie. You made a movie. You sell that movie, and then there's like 5 pages of delivery items.
Yeah.
Like 5 pages of, like, hey, deliver this, and you got to give it to me this way, and the sound's got to be to this level. Okay, so if you're out there and this is happening to you, don't panic. Just start delivering the things that you know are important, right? You got to deliver the picture. You got to deliver the audio. You got to deliver the music and the music cue sheet, right? These things are all things that you have. So you start
Closed
delivering
caption.
stuff. Yeah, closed captioning.
specs
By
for
the
the-
way,
for the
closed
artwork.
captioning, you can go to Rev for $100.
I did it.
They give you a closed caption, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people read that in a contract. They're like, oh my God, how am I going to get the closed captioning? It's totally easy. Send your movie. They give you the closed captioning. So don't freak out. Just start delivering the stuff, and then eventually the company will say to you, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, right? But if you're signing it, you feel like, wait a minute, I'm signing that I'm going to deliver everything on the sheet. And it's not true, right?
Here's
They're
the
not
deal.
going to hold you to it like that.
And Weiser's like, dude, just sign it. We got nothing to lose. Send the fucking. What are you waiting for already? Just do it.
There's, by the way, great businessmen, and I'm talking great businessmen.
Thank you. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
great businessmen sometimes just know when they're taking a risk, know when they're taking a chance on a company or a chance on somebody. But normally they're not out to trap you. So just get a lawyer to take a look at it for you. When you give a contract to a lawyer and a lawyer goes, hey, check out paragraph 2, page 5, page 6, page 8, and you come back to the company and say, like, oh, by the way, can you guys change this and or add my name to it because there was a misspelling, or you guys used the wrong company, or this was a boilerplate for something else and there's something left over. They appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, you're right. So that was thanks for doing that. So
do you think I should pay a lawyer or just sign it?
I would pay a lawyer if it's more than 3 pages
Okay.
to just have a look at it.
Yeah.
And then, you'll just sleep better knowing that you had someone look at it.
What if I just pay you with tequila? If
Well,
I got you a bottle of tequila right now, would you look at it
I
for
would
me?
look through it for you. Yeah,
I'm gonna
sure.
go get one right now because you know what? He needs it.
He needs
I'll
it.
read it for you.
He's
I'll
fading.
read it for
He's
you.
fading
But,
fast.
He's fading.
but yeah, just take look. Depending on who you're making a deal with, yeah, you got to read it. You got to take a look at it. You're all smart enough to look at your own document. I don't think you need a lawyer to like lawyer up and figure that stuff out. You do need a lawyer to take money from somebody. That's different, right? But you know, look, if I was looking at a contract for distribution for you or for anyone, the things that I'm looking for is how long is the term?
Yep.
Is it a year, 2 years, 5 years?
Is it exclusive?
Is it exclusive or non-exclusive? And also, if you don't sell my movie within a certain amount of time, let's say I give you let's say the contract's for 2 years, and every year it ups by itself without any help from you and I, it just automatically goes to us another year. That seems reasonable. But if after 6 months you have made me no money and it's my movie, then I should have the right to get my movie back. If you're not making me money within a 6 month period, or there's no money coming in, or you have no sales, 0 sales in 6 months, I think that you and I both agree you shouldn't have my movie.
Dave, would you agree with me on this? Just listen.
Yeah.
Gilda Monster Distribution.
I like that. I like it.
Come on, you're fair.
I'm not interested.
What do you mean you're not interested? Help out filmmakers, damn it.
I'm helping out filmmakers by explaining this to them.
Distribute our movies because that sounds like a great deal. I would sign that. No lawyer attached.
All right,
Give me
good.
the pin.
Well,
Dotted line.
Going back to what you're talking about, there's a lot of distributors out there that are brand new, doing great new things.
That's this
that
company.
you can download, that you could do apps, right?
Yeah.
Sign up with them before they actually figure out that they're going to start
take
making
off,
money
yeah.
and start ripping you off, right? Because that's what happens. You make an early deal with someone, they're testing a platform, they start making a bunch of money, you start making a bunch of money,
Boom,
and then they figure out, and then they figure out how
They're
to.
like, oh, fuck, we only charge you 35%.
Yeah,
we should have charged you 75%.
You know what? This is so much money. We're going to start charging people 70%,
Sorry.
and then it's over.
Yeah, and then you're like,
So you got to figure that out.
I'm in. Where's the contract? I'll sign it right now.
But
Sign
just to recap last week, you got an investor, you got a lawyer, you could potentially put that money into escrow so that you can raise more money. That triggers the rest of the money. Boom, you can go make your movie. That's what we talked about last week, right? What we're going to talk about today is really fascinating too, because let's say you've got your investor now, you've got a little contract with him, but part of the agreement was you need an actor that makes sense to people, right? That's okay. So you're making a $100,000 movie, and you're thinking, I can't afford a real actor. Well, that's not true, right? There's lots of actors that'll go out there and work for $5,000, $2,000, $10,000, $1,000 here.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter, Roberts, is being a producer, like you've produced a lot of movies. Most actors, I would say, like 95% of the actors are needing to work. Not everybody's fucking signed on to do Marvel movies making shitloads of money. So there's a lot of actors that you can get who are just kind of waiting for movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they need to pay the bills.
Right.
This is what they chose, and they're looking for work.
You found actors you didn't go through an agent.
No.
You didn't go through their managers. How did you find like Lilo? What did you do to get Lilo Brancato, who, by the way, huge star.
Yeah.
He was in Bronx Tale. He was in Sopranos.
Man.
He was in Renaissance. I mean, this is a guy that's been like movies that you paid to see in movie theater.
Yeah.
So how did you get him?
Well, I'm fortunate because I work in the business and I saw him here. But, you know, you can go through. I've met so many people on social media now.
Right.
So you really don't need. I mean, yes, you're gonna eventually have to go deal with an agent or a manager if you're depending on the caliber of actor and where they're at. But you know, just slide in the DM. What's up, fool? I got this project. You down or what?
Right, just like that.
Just like that. Then they say, well, send me the script, motherfucker. And then they read it and they go, I'm down, but I want in.
Right.
I want a percentage or blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
so there's ways to get into it.
Yeah, when I started with Lorena and we were making, smaller movies, we were making like, I don't know, $500,000 movies, $1 million movies. We would get actors that were like you had seen them in like Bruce Lee movies when they were younger, or you had seen them on, Little House on the Prairie, or you had seen them on, some sort of TV name. And yeah, you could get somebody to work for $2,500 a week or $3,000 a week. I remember working with Richard Lynch twice, and he was this great classic actor that was in everything. He had the burn scars on his neck, blonde hair, right? He was an amazing actor. Always played the bad guy. Anyway, I didn't think we can get him, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it.
You know what, Dave? This is coming to you.
Yeah.
Because social media is such a, you could really kind of find out who somebody is through looking at their social. Like you see their pictures, you see them hanging out, you see them. So
you see their friends,
you see their friends and all that stuff. So if you send somebody, and you see their interests. So if they're a filmmaker, you see them on set, you see them working with certain people, you see that. So if they reach out to an actor, because you could reach out to them, and actors are on social media. Like majority of them, I would say, like they're fucking obsessed with it, because it's basically like it's their publicity. It's their publicity. Like they read everything. They read everything. They read every comment, everything. So you slide in, they go and they look at your profile, and they say, "Oh, this guy, he's done some stuff. He seems cool.
Yeah,
let me see what he's about." Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like meeting a person and letting them kind of feel you out before you even know them. You know what I mean? And then there's an opportunity for them to respond and say, "Send me this email. Here, send me your script. Let me read it." I did that with a pretty big actor.
And they read them, dude. They read them, even though it doesn't say that they opened it. They read them.
Yeah,
they read them.
A pretty big actor. Like I'd met him through here, but I didn't really know him. And then I said, fuck it, I'm just going to reach out to him through social media. And I did. And he responded to me, and he gave me his email, and then I sent him the script. That's actually happened to a couple guys.
Yeah, so it's possible for you to break through in a world where people are communicating more. It's not so much talk to my agent anymore. You can kind of reach people, and maybe you're not going to get Brad Pitt, but you can certainly see someone on TV or in a movie that's a secondary character that maybe is not super famous yet, that you can get into your movie and
just wants to work.
And then you got something going,
Well, you definitely have access to everybody.
Well, like Lilo.
Not like back in the day.
No, exactly. Like Lilo, he liked the character. He had never played a character like that, and that's what was appealing to him.
That's when you're doing something special. When you go to an actor that always plays a gangster or always plays, dramatic characters, and you give them a comedy.
Yeah.
Then they're willing to work for less or for scale or whatever it is.
Let me ask you this, Robert. So that you're an investor, you get an investor. We do all what you just said. Do they care more about the actors or the producers or the directors? And in what order?
I don't think investors look at movies that way. I think they always want whatever you're doing to be exciting for the project, right? So if first things up after you get the money is like, oh, we're going to get a director on board, then whoever that director is, even if like he won, maybe even he graduated from SC, or he had a film in a festival that he won, any kind of exciting information about who you're working with is going to benefit your relationship with your investor, because then it doesn't seem like you're just picking a guy that works camera on, I don't know, on the morning show, for NBC in LA. You know what I mean? Like,
but have you ever had an investor who said, okay, I'm going to give you $1 million. Can you get Martin Scorsese to direct this?
No, I've never had anyone say that. I don't think anyone would say that. If they did say that, I'd be like, hey, really nice to meet you. I'm wishing you luck. And
no, that's not what you say.
I wouldn't do that.
You're going against your own advice.
I wouldn't work with someone.
You take the $1 million and you say, well, let me see.
No.
Let's talk. Let me see if I can talk to him.
I couldn't do that because it's a lie.
And you come back and you say, give me another $40 million.
No,
I think we got it.
But it's a lot. Yeah, but you don't want $40 million. Look, if you're an independent filmmaker and you're making movies for the first time and you're testing the waters, you don't want to test the waters with $20 million. That's not, that's
Michael
silly.
Cimino.
It's like if you went to build a house and it's your first time building it and you don't know, and you got to take your contractor knows more than you do. Therefore, you're trusting someone else with your entire project. That's what happens when you have too much money, that you have to trust someone else that they know what to do. So just you get a small amount of money so that you can do it. And if you make mistakes along the way, your investor's going to be like, yeah, well, we tried it. Let's try it again. And it'll be better next time.
I like that. Build the shed. Okay. 4 walls. That's
there you go.
And a roof.
Make it happen. But, okay. So you have your money. You can reach out, through DM for
Social,
people, right?
Yeah. Or casting.
Casting directors. There's lots of great casting directors that are willing to work with you, that you maybe give you one of their assistants.
What's that going to set us back? Like, how much is a casting?
No, you could probably put, I think on Water and Power we paid $10,000 for our casting director. Maybe even less. I mean, maybe it was $5,000. But let's say someone will work with you and you float them $1,000 or $2,000 to just sort of reach out for names, see if people would be interested in working on an indie. People love working on indies.
Yeah.
Actors like working on indies, right? They don't care that there's no chairs. They don't care that there's no.
Why do you think
stuff.
that is? Because of the freedom to kind of like express themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, I did indie films that big actors would come do, and
got Marissa Tomei.
yeah, they would complain. Well, that was like a $5 million movie, but but smaller movies I did, like Water and Power was a $600,000 movie, and
wait, what? That's all? No,
it was 600.
1.6.
No, it was 600,000. Water and Power.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 600,000. They didn't care about like there's no dressing rooms, none of that, right?
Yeah.
That didn't matter to them. What they wanted is great material, something great to say, some like scenes
Character
that were
to play.
unlike,
Something different.
Yeah, so you can do something different and don't worry about like what they're eating. I mean, look, you do have to worry about getting people food, but don't get crazy. Like they don't need all they're doing. They're doing something special. They know you're not a studio. Let's make this the best we can make it, and it's awesome. You see some great actors step out, so don't be afraid of that. I promise you. If you raise 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, and you go out and try to find actors and you're in production, you will find people that you're like, wow, I didn't think I'd get them.
I was doing Scott Wolf's makeup at Extra for a little while. Such a cool dude. And we were talking about this, and he was telling me how because I thought, oh, big star, right? He's been on big shows, Emmy winner, all that stuff. And he was telling me about a movie he did for under $500,000, and he was actually doing grip work on it. I mean, he was a star, but he's moving equipment, and he's like, "No, dude, I was in there when it was time to do my shit. I would do my stuff, and then it was an independent film." He goes, "I loved it because I was pitching him. I was like, hey, I got the script. I don't have a lot of money. Are you interested?" He's like, "Yeah, if it's let me read it. If it's cool." He goes, "I'm cool. I'll do stuff like that."
Yeah.
So
actors don't care. They just want to do good material.
Because everybody started out at some place.
Yeah,
everybody started out doing student films or something small. So they know it, right?
Yeah,
even you started out small. Now
everyone, I'm still small.
Fucking Brian Grazer.
By the way, I used to make more expensive movies when I was an indie, and than I do now.
Hey, tech.
But it's a different world now because it's more of a machine.
Right.
It's more of a machine. The machine's different. If you're doing it all the time, that's a lot easier to keep things moving rather than you're doing it once every couple of years. But yeah, get yourself a casting director. Start going down the line. Once a casting director comes on, here's the magic, right? Once a casting director comes on, and you've reached out to some people on IM, and is that what's called IG? No,
IG. You're aging yourself.
Oh, sorry, you reached out to people on IG, and you made some contacts or whatever. But then a casting director comes on, takes your project, sends it to the breakdowns.
Yeah.
The breakdowns reads your script, and then takes every character and does a little paragraph on who that character is.
Oh, is that how it goes?
And then they put it out to all the agencies. Now, you're not going to get calls from the big agencies for your little movie, but there's a lot of people with small agents. Yeah. So they'll cover it and they'll send you names, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, I know who that is. She wants to do my movie. He wants to do my movie." And they'll be like, yeah. So it's possible. You just have to get the train moving, right? I always say this. It's like no one likes a stagnant train. There's lots of filmmakers who will say like, well, I'm going to make this, but I need 2 million or I need 5 million. And the minute I get the 5, then I'm going to start making it and I'll get a good name. Well, you can't do that. You have to get the train moving any way you can. And once that train is moving, people start jumping on. So all of these things can happen, right? A casting director gives you like a bigger reach.
Yeah.
And then you can get like pictures of people that like, oh, I saw them. Or a lot of times, as a filmmaker, you'll see a show that has this great, I do it all the time. I'll be sitting at home and I'll watch a commercial and I'll be like, oh my God, that person's really funny. That person's really good. It'll be like a secondary person in a commercial or a bit part,
Flo, you think Flo's good?
No, not her, but I just mean like people like
I know.
other people that are in the commercials, not the stars of commercials, but the secondaries. And then sometimes you'll see like an NCIS and they'll be like the person that they walk up to and go like, hey man, you see this you see this girl, right? And they have a conversation with that person and you're like, hey, that person's pretty good. Those people may float in pictures after a casting director puts it out and you'll be like, oh, that person's pretty cool. I can pay them scale minimum to be in the movie. And then you've got you're starting to move.
And casting directors, based off of your experience, will work with you depending on your budget, like you said. So say, you call me and say, look, I got this amount of money. Would you be interested?
Yeah, it depends. I think if you watch some independent films from like Sundance, some of the smaller films made that year, find out who cast them, and then go to those casting directors, and you get a break. And you'll figure it out with them. You give them an associate producer credit, give them a co-producer credit. You never know what people are trying to do out there. Just because you're in casting doesn't mean that's all you want to do. They may have other aspirations. So you'll say like, look, produce this with me, be the casting director, and let's make it super special, and you'll be good. All right, let's stop talking about that for a second. What I want to talk about is what's a good idea and a bad idea in the market that we're in right now, because I think every couple of years it changes, right? Every couple of years you get into like you're pitching things and networks are changing and studios aren't making many movies anymore. Everyone's just doing Marvel movies and superhero movies and right? So
everything's series or
how do you pitch an idea that works? How do you pitch an idea that someone says, "Oh, I want to make that. That's a good idea. I want to do that." Because look, I want to preface this by saying like there are no right answers, right? No one's right. I'm not right. I'm not telling you, "Oh, this is the idea and this is the only way to do it." Any idea would work. It just depends on who's doing it. You got people making Code. It's called Code, and it stars Molly Matlin. It also stars Eugenio Derbez, and it was just sent,
I like him.
It was just sent to me in a screener. So here's the interesting thing: is that I watched it and I thought, the entire family is deaf. The mom, the dad, the brother, the sister, the younger sister is the only one who can speak. Like she's her whole life. She's a senior in high school. She's been translating for the family and working on the fishing boat in the morning. They go out like at 2:00 in the morning. They fish. They come back at 7. She showers. She goes to school. She does this every day because she's got to translate for her family. She's got no choice. Now,
was there audio in this movie or not really?
Yeah, she speaks. She speaks.
Okay.
But
I'm not trying to be a wise guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
one person speaking.
Well, no, Eugenio Derbez and her teacher and a bunch of people around her was speaking. But my point is that it's a super interesting, unique slice of life that very possibly you haven't seen before.
Yeah,
would you?
I had never seen it. I had never seen anything like it. I would say it's high concept simply because the concept of having an entire family not
that is true.
Speak is really
just
different.
One person.
Just to point, I'm just trying to point out the very extreme idea that if you're thinking of a story that has a dude that walks down the street, that owns a burrito shop, that gets in trouble, that does that, and then he falls in love, and then he's got to do some stuff for love, that's fine. But is that really going to move the needle for you if you're not a known filmmaker, if you're not someone who's known for a certain type of story in film, if you haven't succeeded or won a festival or done any of that, then should you be pitching things that are a little bit more high concept so that people turn their heads when you're speaking? Wait, what did you say?
Yeah.
Rather than, it's a movie about heart. This guy, and then there's heart, and then they fall in love, and then at the end of it, it's the dad and the son love each other.
If you're pitching to like a Lifetime Christmas movie, it's all about fucking heart, right?
Maybe not necessarily. So you tell me, is just the average story still going to work for a network who's making and trying to compete with 140 other films that are all being shown in November and December?
Wait, how many did they make?
140.
Lifetime made 140?
No.
Christmas movies.
Networks across the board are making Christmas movies.
Oh, 140
Netflix.
Christmas movies. Yeah.
Hallmark. Disney Plus. Everyone's got a Christmas movie. So 140 movies got made. So to answer your question, no, it's not enough to walk up and go, hey, it's a family and they got heart and they're falling in love and he hates Christmas and so does she. And then they find their mojo. Okay, great. That's awesome. But is that going to get someone to turn their head and go like, wow, that's an interesting story. I just told you about an entire family who's deaf.
I know, but okay, yes. But doesn't that go back to where you're selling or where you're pitching this movie?
No. Is Jurassic Park a good idea no matter who you're pitching?
I think so. But,
okay, then that's the answer. No, that's the answer. Okay, absolutely.
You're gonna go to Hallmark and pitch Jurassic Park.
No, but I'm saying I'm using it as an example of like an idea that anyone at any if you go pitch Jurassic Park to Hallmark, they're gonna be like, we can't do it, but that's the most amazing pitch I've ever heard, and you blew the walls off of this place, but we can't make it. That's what would happen. They would say to you, that's unbelievable, Rod Rinks. Yeah. Oh, my God. I can't believe I can't make it. You just blew the walls off of Hallmark here on Ventura Boulevard, and I'm going to wish you luck because that's amazing. That's what you would get. So what Hallmark's I'm saying,
Ventura Boulevard?
Yeah. Huh. So what I'm saying is if you're pitching a story, think about what you're doing and challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to come up with more than the average story that's about a dude that falls in love, that goes here, that loves Christmas or hates Christmas or whatever it is. Just, like I said, watching Code, I didn't make Code. I have nothing to do with that movie.
Did you watch it?
Yes. Oh. I have nothing to do with the movie, but I watched it, and the entire time I was thinking, this is amazing that these guys thought of this because, first of all, it's good. It is wish fulfillment because the little girl who speaks can sing. Right. And she's going to get a scholarship to, I forgot what college, great college in San Francisco, a musical scholarship, right? Because she can sing. Her whole family's deaf. Right. So when they go see her perform at the school performance, the filmmaker turned off the sound. So you're watching them sit in the audience seeing her sing, but they can't hear anything. They can't feel anything. So they're looking around. They're looking around the auditorium.
Everybody's face is like dropped.
Everyone is looking at her sing and smiling and clapping. They can't hear anything. Right. So they're just like, huh. They're smiling at each other going like, this is cool. Tell your story, figure out what your story is, and then go back and ask yourself, is this really, are the twists in my story going to be head turning to an executive, right? Because then here's the other part of all of this is like pulling the curtain back right here. Here's the other hard part is that when you go to pitch fests, when you go meet with an executive who's maybe not the president but the VP of development, okay? When you go meet with these people, they are important. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. They are important. They're going to eventually be the presidents of those companies. Yeah. But what happens when you go in, pitch them a story, and they shake your hand, go, thank you for coming in. I'll get back in touch with you. What's the first thing that they have to do?
Go report to their guy.
That's correct. So you just told me a pitch. Yeah. Now I have to stand up and go in a meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. and report what pitches I heard. So when I'm in that meeting, am I going to be like, well, this one was about a dude who walks down the street and there's a lot of heart and then they get together and then the family and then they fall in love and then I'm being honest.
This was our argument yesterday in the car.
I'm being honest. I'm saying if you want to give an executive the opportunity for, first of all, them to get promoted. Yes. And them to sell your idea to someone else, make it brief, make it great, and tell them where the tent poles are. Don't let them have to pitch it better. See, if you pitch someone a story and then they have to go make it better so that their boss who hears hundreds of these a week says that one's good, then figure out what your big moments are and where the twists are, because any great writer is going to be able to go like, yeah, they're going to fall in love here, and then there's going to be a problem here, and then she's going to run away, and then he's going to go sell his hair and buy her a ring and ask her to marry him. I'm just, that was a Christmas movie.
That's hard.
Yes, it's a classic. It is a classic. I don't remember what it's called, but Timothy Bottoms stars in it. That's how crazy I remember the thing. But my point is that that's the world we're living in, right? You have to.
So it could be formulaic, but it has to be uniquely formulaic.
Well, it has to be formulaic. You don't have a choice. There's a formula, right, to all of the things that we're doing in the business. But if you're pitching people and executives, you have to know that those executives have to report to someone else. I've got a storage facility full of prints and movies that never did anything. I should have been more focused on the stories I was trying to tell and how they fit into today's market.
Go back into today's market, because that's what you started off. So what is the market? Because it does come in flows, right? Like, remember there was a point where there was a time where everyone was making westerns.
If there's a successful western, then everyone wants to make a western. If there's a successful,
sci-fi,
horror. Everyone wants to make a sci-fi. If there's a hit horror film, everyone's going to make a horror film, right?
Yeah.
So
how do you break that?
You don't break that. You come up with a uniquely interesting slice of life concept that is your story, and then you have the twists that give an executive the opportunity to pitch it to a room full of people when you're not there, and go like, you're right.
You got to know your story like the back of your hand, and you got to hit those tent poles, and you got to get people excited about it. You got to be a fucking used car salesman like you would never believe.
Yeah. You've got to learn to pitch all the time. Always be practicing. Always be pitching your.
What is your abbreviation to use? Always.
ABC. Always be closing. Always be pitching. It is. It's important. But, that's the problem with family gatherings. That's the problem with barbecues. You got asadas. The whole thing is that you get there. You're thinking, you're like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, wait a minute. Tell me the story about you when you ripped off the bank and you got away with it. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to turn that into a movie. And then you go write that. And then it's not a movie, right? It's just something that you did. Now you've invested all this time and you've told them you're going to do the movie about them. Now you're kind of committed to carrying around this idea in your backpack forever because you sort of promised and you sort of want to make it, and because your tia said it's a good idea.
Sucked up. Your poor tia.
I know, your poor tia. Now you got to tell her that's not a good idea. So I think, look,
I'm bringing you to tell her, not me. Dad, you're coming in the next carne asada. You're going to tell my tia.
There's no right answer, right? The right answer is, are you pitching a unique story? I hope, if you're listening, that you're understanding the point of this. The point of this is not that you don't have good stories. It's that you need to put your stories on steroids a little bit so that when you pitch them to someone who matters, that person has the ammunition to go to their bosses and go like, this is something special.
I think the point is those tent poles you were saying. You got to hit 5 points that are unique and take your story in different directions so that it's not that when you're pitching it, that person isn't like falling, their head's nodding, they're falling asleep. They're start falling, they go, oh shit, did that happen? And then Godzilla showed up?
I just watched The Conjuring. Have you seen The Conjuring?
Yeah. No, I won't watch that
So
shit.
The Conjuring is scary, based on true people, based on true events, shit that really happened.
Was that the one with the doll?
Yeah.
The Raggedy Ann
That's one
doll?
of them. Yeah, that's one of them. Push yourself to be better. When someone challenges your idea, then maybe your idea is not that good.
Robert's challenged me. I'm not gonna lie, and he made some valid points.
Yeah,
but he's always challenging me.
Yeah,
and then I go and make a fucking kick-ass movie like Made in Mexico. Oh, drop the fucking mic. But you know what? I got on the call with Nahara yesterday.
Yeah,
and because Nahara liked it, Stearns liked it, Lopez liked it, Nahara liked it, and Nahara and I got on this thing called Dual Writer. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's pretty cool. It's you go, we Zoom, and then you get on this thing and you write together. Literally, you both can write in the thing, and then like
it's actually called Writer's Duet, but
there we go, Writer's Duet. What did I say? Writer's Duel?
Dual writer.
Dual Writers.
Actually, you should create one because that's pretty cool. That's a good name. It's dope.
Yeah, I like that. And so it was dope. Like we sat there and we started writing, but he's so talented that he I laid out everything. He already read. I did a little 1 page, and he read and he liked it. The world was there, but it just needed more. Like Robert said. And that motherfucker just started spitting ideas and shit, and it changed it like that.
When you've been around the business and you're great, you know that you can't just sell an idea, that you have to come up with the bells and whistles that someone's going to go like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the stories that you're telling
have been told.
What is different about your story, right? What is different about your story? And how can you make it so that someone goes like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty amazing. So I don't know. And by the way, it's not always possible. I can't always do it. You can't always do it.
It's hard.
And there's no right answer. Like I know I'm saying this really convincingly. Like if it's the right answer, I'm not right. But you do have to consider that the story be different, unique, and exciting, so that whoever you pitch it to can then pass it on. And maybe it gets passed on 3-4 times. Can your story sustain it being passed on 3 or 4 times, and the 4th time still be as powerful as what you originally pitched? Sometimes they get better. Sometimes an executive will come back to you and go like, look, in the middle of my pitch, I threw in this. And you'll be like, holy shit, that's pretty cool. I'm going to add it, you know? And then you're in a collaboration with an executive. But anyway, so...
Is that good to get into collaborations with the executive? Because then they got skin in the game?
I mean, projects get made because of the people pushing them, right? It's your job to come up with the best story and then try to push it up the ladder. And don't let your tia tell you it's a good story, right? You decide if you're telling the best story or not, right? Don't go to Nahara, sit down with Rick
She
Nahara.
makes good chilaquiles, though.
Yeah, but she don't know if, you know, the story's good or not.
You got to talk to your tío, your drunk tío. They'll
Tío
tell you
will
good
tell
stuff.
you.
Say the good stuff.
Anyway, we covered some good stuff, I think,
Nice, yeah.
right? Covered a lot of good information here.
Always.
Casting.
We did casting.
High concept.
Get your high concepts going. All of these things are important to get it done. And then if you're going to make a movie, go out and make your movie. Ask good actors to do it. Offer them $500, $1,000. They may do it, they may not. But in our case, with you and with people around us, it's happened all the time. Great actors have worked for a reasonable amount of money, made their movies better, created some distribution opportunities for you, for me, for everybody involved. So, so that's a little something. I hope everybody had a pen and pencil, because that was
Pen and a paper.
Just
that was
rewind
good
that
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, rewind it, write it all down.
Hit that 15-second.
Do what you got to do. Show me your contract. We'll see you next time on Let's
You
Get
don't wanna
Into
see
It.
it?
Yeah,
You
show
don't
me the
wanna see it.
contract.
You
No,
don't wanna
I'll read it for you. $500.
I'll get you
No,
a
wait a
bottle
minute.
of
What about the pure, the good?
Cuervo
or whatever?
Gold. Oh, that's right. I forgot to bring it.